I'm sure I would love friends if I had them. Hello, greetings fellow losers. That was a bit harsh, but I'm gonna roll with it. If you clicked on this video, it's because you want to learn how to not be a loser when doing things completely and utterly alone. And I happen to be a pro in that category. I often do things utterly alone that are usually done with groups of friends, or at least like one other person. I'm so much of a pro that people actually compliment me on this. I have a bunch of people who've said, Marie, you're like so great at doing things alone. Like, wow, so brave. And I'm like, that's a compliment, right? And then there's just like awkward silence. Anyways, I have a few little fun stories of me doing things alone. And at the end of the video, after hearing all these fantastic stories, you will also want to do things alone. Spoiler alert, doing things alone is economical. It saves you money. You could win a free vacuum. And you might even meet Detective Olivia Benson from Law and Order. If those three things seem random and you're confused, make sure to watch the whole video where it will all make sense. Also, if you enjoy the video, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Loser story number 1, or sorry, how not to be a loser story number 1. That was a Freudian slip. And I've named each of my stories because I'm fun. And my first story is called The One with the Friends Pop-Up. Okay, so I live in New York City and I love Friends, the TV show. I'm sure I would love Friends if I had them. And they were doing a pop-up for their, I forget, 50th? Not 50th. I forget. 20th? Shoot, 25th? It was some big anniversary of the Friends TV show. They were doing a pop-up shop in Soho. Yeah, I asked a few people if they wanted to go, but then no one responded and the tickets were selling out, and then I booked my ticket. Anyways, so I travel down to Soho, I go to the exhibit. It's honestly so cool, it had all the Friends props and everything. But then I was kind of sad because you kind of had to take a photo on certain things. So the Friends couch was there and they're like, all right, next group. And I was like, it's just me, group of 1. They're like, okay. And then I had to pose on the iconic Friends couch by myself with no friends. And then I kind of felt like a loser because I was just sitting on the Friends couch with no friends by myself. And so I didn't even show anyone the photos because I thought they were lame. I just showed my mom. Okay, that story took a twist. This was supposed to be a motivational video. I'll be there for you. Okay, that was grim. That was depressing. That's okay. Okay, so we had a loser moment on the Friends couch. Okay, we're just going to wrap that story up with a quick tip/moral. There's tips and morals after each one of my fun little stories. So I think the moral of this story is don't let your lack of friends stop you from doing things you would normally do with friends, even if that means you might be sitting on the Friends couch all alone. Okay, next story. Loser story number 2. This story is called In the Criminal Justice System, Hip-Hop Classes Are Considered Especially Cool to Do by Yourself. I hope you know where that's from. Okay, so I decided to go to hip-hop classes randomly last year. I went to the studio in New York and you just pay per class. It's not anything totally legit. I'm already a really great hip-hop dancer, so I don't even know why I went, just to brush up on my skills. Anyways, this is my second time going to a class by myself, and it was a little intimidating because everyone usually goes with a friend. But I wanted to learn brush up on my impeccable hip-hop skills. So I walk into my second class, I'm excited, and we start the warm-up, That wasn't the warm-up. And there's this couple next to me, and they look familiar, but I was gonna stare at them in the mirror. Then I realized that it's Detective Olivia Benson and her husband, or at least the actress that plays her, Mariska Haggerty, and her husband, who's also an actor. He was in The Bold Type. He was also a lawyer on Law & Order SVU. I'm a big fan. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like freaking out inside. And unfortunately, I'm not with anyone because I'm by myself, so I couldn't like whisper to my friend like, oh my god. It's even harder to hip hop dance in front of a movie star. Like, walking next to her would have been hard, and she would like cheer everyone on. She was like so nice, and I was like, oh my god, Olivia Benson is cheering on my hip hop skills. And she was also like really good at hip hop. Her husband, not so much. At the end, we did a little dance circle where we all got to like show off our favorite move, and this was the move I did. Yes, I did that in front of one of my favorite actresses and also a famous actor. I don't really want to talk about it. Yeah, and then obviously as soon as the class ended, I like called up my mom, aka OG friend, and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I met Detective Olivia Benson. Okay, met is a strong word, because I was too scared to make eye contact with her. Anyways, moral of that story was you should always do things by yourself, because you may run into one of your favorite celebrities and you may get the chance to do an incredibly embarrassing dance move in front of them. I hope she forgot about that. There's no way she remembers that. What if she told her family at dinner that night, like, oh my god, this girl in my hip-hop dance class had like the worst move I've ever seen. Third loser story. Look what you made me do. You made me go to a Taylor Swift concert by myself. Okay, I really hope you're appreciating these titles. I'm way too proud of them, and I'm gonna edit this and be like, those are really lame titles. Anywho, okay, it's my first month in New York City. I love Taylor Swift, and her Reputation concert was gonna be in New Jersey. And I knew like 2 people in the city at that time, and they didn't want to go / like couldn't go. Anyways, the day of the concert rolls around. I hadn't bought my ticket yet because the prices kept dropping. And pro loser tip. One loser to another loser. Not calling you a loser. I'm just assuming, because you clicked on this video, that being a loser saves so much money. Oh my gosh. Buying one ticket the day of a concert, like from maybe like the friend of a friend group who like bailed at the concert, or maybe like friends got in a fight and we're like, Stacy, you can't come with us to the Taylor Swift concert anymore. These tickets are like so cheap. I think I got like it for $50 or something, and it was originally probably like $300. So I take multiple trains to New Jersey. It's so much fun, and I get to my seat. It is the very top row, the nosebleeders of the nosebleeders, the ultimate nosebleeders. And it's pouring rain. It was epic. And there's these 2 sisters next to me. I think they're like 15 and like 17 maybe. And then like a little bit into the concert, they're like, are you here by yourself? But they said it in a nice way. And I was like, yeah. Pro tip, going to concerts by yourself is great because then you don't have the pressure to like talk to whoever you're with. Like, ew, who wants to talk at a concert? Like, you just want to like feel the music and dance. And also you can do your dance moves without any fear of judgment. Although those 2 sisters probably did judge me. Anyways, it was an epic concert. I'm pretty sure Taylor looked right at me. It was pouring rain, and this was the first time she did a concert like in the pouring rain, and it was like amazing. And I cried just because it was like so amazing, and also maybe because I was lonely. We don't need to dissect where the tears came from or what caused the tears. But yeah, moral of that story was don't not go to a Taylor Swift concert because you have no one to go with. What was that word? Fourth loser story. Loneliness can win you a $800 vacuum. Okay, so last year I heard of one of my favorite influencers, Shut the Kill Up. She was going to be in New York City at the Dyson store, and it was right smack dab in the middle of the workday. So actually I have a reason for no one coming with me because everyone else was working. In all my other stories, there's not really reasons no one came with me. besides the fact that they didn't want to. But anywho, it was right in the middle of the workday. Luckily, my boss was the MVP, and she was like, Marie, you can go. Just take like 2-hour lunch break. I was like, wow, thanks. So I went by myself. I'm going to wrap this up. Basically, it was a great event, but there was a Dyson vacuum raffle, and I won. And I like freaked out and cried. There's a theme. Marie goes to something alone, and she cries. So the moral of this story is, go to influencer pop-ups by yourself. That way, if you win a vacuum, you don't have to like share it or like split custody of the vacuum. It's all yours. Like, go to things by yourself. You might win a Dyson vacuum. It's a very oddly specific moral of the story, but it works. Trust me. Don't quote me on that, actually, and please don't sue me if you go to something alone and don't win a Dyson. Loser story number 5, and the last loser story, I think. Unless I think of more. And knowing me, I will, because there's lots of those in here. Okay, the 5th title is Sleeping on the Sidewalk Alone. I couldn't think of a creative title for this one. It could be Live from New York. It's Marie alone. Anyways, I actually have a whole video dedicated to this experience. I sat in the SNL standby line by myself. The reason no one came with me was because it was 30 degrees, and when you ask people, hey, do you want to sleep outside on the cold streets of New York for roughly 14 hours with me to get a standby ticket to SNL that doesn't even guarantee you admission, people tend to not really, that doesn't sell them. I don't know what's wrong with them. You tell me. Anyways, I have a whole video dedicated to this, but basically I slept outside, or attempted to sleep. I sat in a cold chair. Everyone else was like with a group of people, so that's fun. Luckily, I befriended my line neighbors, and they watched my stuff as I walked to Times Square to go to the bathroom in the 24-hour McDonald's and stick my hands under the hand dryers for 30 minutes to prevent hypothermia. And long story short, I did not get into the show. And then I also tried to cry then, but I was so tired I didn't have tears left.
Hey, you can probably tell from my super enthusiastic hi that I did not get in. I would cry, but I'm too tired. Like, I feel like I have tears in my eyes, but then there's no tears. Like, what the heck?
Honestly, there is no moral of the story. Don't go to the SNL standby line by yourself, or even with a friend. Okay, we need to end on a high note because that last story was way sadder than I wanted it to be, and this is a motivational video. This is a motivational video that is meant to inspire, if you can't tell. I know you're feeling super inspired right now. I know I said loser a lot in this video. I totally didn't mean it. I promise I have friends. Crap. Comment down below if you want me to do any other videos like this. I think the next video is going to be 10 reasons why I hate summer. Polarizing. Controversial. Okay.